a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
The bits.
Welcome to The Bits, hosted by your favorite jam buds, Charlie.
And Robert. Hey, Charlie.
Robert.
You know, I don't know about you, but I think it's been a while since I've hit the diamond and played some baseball.
Yeah, we should go and play some baseball. I hear it's pretty gay.
Y'all, it's a Ruby and Sapphire episode, so you know who's here.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the show. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if we ever go back, because it's root for the home team. If we don't win, it's a shame, because it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out in the old ball game. I'm sorry, I can't sing, but I did it anyway. Hi, it's me, I'm back, and I'm a little tipsy. You're welcome.
Darien's back and a little tipsy. Darien, have you done an episode non-tipsy?
Yeah, I haven't been tipsy. I haven't drunk. I've been here drinking water or just straight herbal tea every episode except for Jailbreak. Yeah, that's right, listeners. That's me stone cold sober.
Oh boy.
I didn't think it could be done.
This episode felt a little light, and I'm like, it's time to bring back Tipsy Darien to the game. The listeners deserve a little treat.
A little treat as a reward. The usual shtick, your Darien podcasts, they, all that jazz. We've listeners, if you've listened to this podcast before, you know who Darien is.
You know me.
If you don't know who Darien is, get on it. They're awesome.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. Also, hypothetically, maybe someone is like, oh, I've heard of this Steven Universe podcast. I'm going to check it out. Let's listen to their most recent episode to get a hit. And maybe this is the most recent episode. So they haven't heard me, the Ruby Sapphire Scholar. Hi, I'm Darien. She, they. Sapphic wait, that's not my words.
Sapphic lesbian.
I'm a sapphic ace. I mean, I'm a sapphic lesbian too, but see? Tipsy. Boba drink and a frosted glass I got from medieval times. Y'all want to talk about some gay-ass sports?
Yes, we do. I would like to point out that no one has pointed out what I named the recording room, by the way.
I didn't see it.
Hey, batter, hey, batter, swing.
Hey, batter, swing, batter!
Gotta just do my thing. There is no heterosexual reason as to why they swapped clothing. But before we continue into our gay sports discussion, Charlie, did the postman bring us any post?
Hey, Mr. Postman, bring me a post. Bring me the post I love the most.
Yay!
Darien's our good luck charm when it comes to getting mail, I just realized. I think every episode you've been here has had mail.
I mean, there's one episode where I sent the mail, so I feel like that doesn't count, but okay.
No, that definitely counts. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Charlie.
You underwent the peril of sending an email, which is arguably one of the 7 levels of hell.
Truly, absolutely. Except if you're sending an email to us, because we're awesome and we will accept whatever, clearly, based off of if you haven't listened to an episode before, my goodness, the emails that we've been given by our lovely friends that have not been edited at all, we will read them here just the same. But today we have an email from our dear friend Kyla.
Hey, I love their emails.
And the title is Meet Our Pals. Pals in all caps. From Just Lil Guys, Toy Co. We're happy to announce the official release of Non-Binary Pals. You've heard of Guys Under Your Supervision and Gals Against Lazy Stereotypes. Now get ready for Pals Across Lands Socializing. You've got to collect them all. It lists all the different pals, Builder Pal, Pioneer Pal, Invisible Pal, Pair Pal, Parker, the guys, Construction Guy, Ranger Guy, Invisible Guy, Apple Guy, and Dave Guy, the gals, Hard Hat Gal, Explorer Gal, Invisible Gal, Orange Gal, and Karen. P.S. I tried to be alliterative. Builder Pal was almost PPE Pal, but they didn't quite feel like the right vibe. Meanwhile, for the Dave/Karen equivalent, I just took one of the first names from gender neutral names, starting with P on Google. Just know that I always put maximum effort into these posts. Enjoy the pod, guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
Cute.
Kyla just loves to send us wonderful emails that are always just delightful. Just fake advertisements.
The thing I would love to see like a compilation of all of the things Kyla has sent you, but not like as a text post format, but like as a artistic recreation of the intent of the things. So like these advertisement ones, or like occasionally like looking like a handwritten letter with like different, like, you know, the vision, like you take a picture of a letter and there are pieces on the desk around it that are associated with what's going on.
That feels like so much work.
Oh, it is so much work. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just saying I'd love for it to materialize.
My brain's just like, could I do this in Canva? Could I? I feel like it'd be fun to draw the pals, though. I feel like that could be a thing.
They all have blue hair and pronouns.
Yes, that's what Parker looks like. That's absolutely what Parker, the pal, looks like.
Imagine having blue hair and pronouns couldn't be me.
What's happening here? The Rubies, a big scary red ship just crash landed in front of the barn, and a Ruby with one eye just came out.
My favorite part of this was, like, we already mentioned it last episode because it's the same shot, but it perfectly lands in the ground and then creates the diamond that becomes the baseball, like, place. Like, they didn't have to make...
It's the mound.
They didn't have to make the baseball field. Like, it's already drawn for them. There's already a mound and everything. It's just there. So it's like foreshadowing.
You ever just land on a foreign planet and accidentally make a perfect square with lines and little squares at the bases?
No. I don't think I do.
So they're all pulled away by Garnet to hide in the barn, including Peridot. Lapis, this quells Lapis's doubt from the last episode where she was like, you know, yeah, of course, you're on the run from Yellow Diamond. Yeah, sure. And then this episode, she's like, oh shit, yeah, you are on the run. Maybe you were telling me the truth the whole time.
I don't blame Lapis. That's crazy to think that this person has just made this massive face turn while you've been in a toxic relationship. That feels fake.
Yeah, right? We get a little bit of the rubies all coming out of the ship. Of course, first comes out is Eyeball, you know, the one who's sus about everything. And then there's also Army, Navy, Leggy, and Doc is the last one.
Which, yeah, that is just a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs riff right there.
100%.
Like, Steven doesn't name them till much later on, but it's hilarious that he's like, oh yeah, I named them all based on where their gem is. And then he's like, Doc, bro.
In this episode, they're all rubies. Just it's Ruby. Hi, Ruby. Hey, Ruby. It's me, Ruby. Garnet is like, hey, we're going to protect Earth at all costs, and here's the plan. We're going to unfuse and have the Ruby part of Garnet, like, intermingle and infiltrate the other rubies.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. Okay.
So fun.
So, we've talked about fusion before and how Homeworld sees fusion as a utility.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Peridot's like, you're not serving a function this way. Why are you fused? And then in this episode, we get Ruby and Sapphire unfusing as a form of utility instead.
Oh, that's such a good analysis.
They do, like, the opposite because that's who they are. Is like, no, we prefer to be together as Garnet, but we will unfuse to serve this other purpose.
When it is advantageous to the mission.
Exactly.
Not the only time we'll see this trick. I love that.
That sort of reminds me of a running joke I have where I'm like, I'm only a dude when it's funny or convenient.
Yes, exactly.
Garnet is Ruby and Sapphire when it's funny or convenient.
Yes. So they unfuse. Also, Peridot hides in the nearest box that she can find, which just happens to be the baseball supplies box. It's full of bats and mitts and balls because apparently they just have a bunch of that in this barn that housed an airplane. I want to know more about the DeMeos. We need more DeMeo lore.
Do we really need more DeMeo lore?
It does just give like grandparents' garage, right? Like you just go in there and you find like crazy, weird old stuff in there. Like, oh, there's that plastic snowman that should be or that plastic Santa Claus that lights up, hasn't lit up for years and is never part of the Christmas decorations. But yeah, there it's in the garage. Here's a box of badminton stuff. Can you even play badminton, Papa? Oh, there's the golf cart. Like, oh, it just tripped over. Why is there a bowling pin in there? Like, that's what the barn gives.
Yeah, it does. The box says Baseball Joe on it. Anyway, we get Ruby and Sapphire, they get hugs, and then Ruby goes to infiltrate the Rubies, but she don't want to go alone. So we get Steven and Ruby, and okay, Amethyst is like, here's the backup for your backup, because Steven is the backup. He gets a baseball bat.
Amethyst is pretty sure that things are going to pop off in a bad way, but Sapphire's like, no. I'm seeing several versions where this ends peacefully. Like, we don't have to go in so hot. Like, let's be diplomatic about this.
Can I share a little anecdote with y'all?
Please.
When I like had a car for myself for the first time, I don't even know how this conversation came about, but my partner told me that my dad told them, just in case they ever need anything, there's a baseball bat in the trunk. Okay.
But you were not made aware of the baseball bat?
I was not made aware of my AMAB partner was made aware of this.
Yeah, that's just that. There we go. That's how it works. My roommate Dalton has been gifted a baseball bat multiple times by his mother for, protection. She has forgotten she's done this, and thus why he has been gifted a baseball bat multiple times.
So multiple baseball bats.
I think after the first one, he's like, Mom, you've tried to give me one before. I have it. You gave it to me. I don't have a baseball bat. I do have just a big ass keyblade. So that would work just fine in a baseball bat pinch. Now it's up on my wall, but I can reach it. So it's not like it's in the back of a closet.
I have a few swords that can do some damage. I got a wooden one. I got a hard plastic one. I have a staff, a big, taller than me, fuck you staff.
Yeah.
That could do some damage. I have some things that I can hurt people with in a pinch.
We're having a real white people conversation right now, because the actual answer to like when you hear something weird in your house is you just need to get the fuck out of your house. You're not going to swing a baseball bat at it. That's how you die. Robert, thoughts?
My thoughts are always, if you're gonna have a baseball bat, a golf club, whatever in your back because you're worried about men TM. What you should do is you should dedicate like at least once every month or so, go to the batting range. You don't even have to be good at it, just go. And B, never say, I had this bat with me for self-defense. Always say, oh yeah, I go to the batting range every now and then. Because if you say, I keep a bat in my car, or I keep a golf club in my car, whatever, for self-defense, the opposing lawyer will be like, this is premeditated, ergo it's assault.
Oh, fascinating.
There you go. Things to know, honestly. Makes sense.
Fascism bad.
Fascism very bad. So, Steven and Ruby and the baseball bat all go, or actually, first it's Ruby. Sorry, I misspoke before. Ruby goes by herself first to be like, hey, what are we all doing here? What's going on? I'm nervous. I'm in danger. Rubies are dumb.
Rubies are so baffling. They have one brain cell and it's not on the planet right now. Like,
no, rubies have himbo energy.
It's really funny because, like, our Ruby shows up and Eyeball is like, okay, Rubies, we're here. Wait, let's do a roll call. I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 without counting herself. And it's like, oh, yep, we came here as 5. We're leaving as 5.
And there are 5 of you. I see 5.
I see 5. I forgot to include myself, but I'll include myself later, which is weird.
Also, Doc is the leader. I always confuse this too. Doc is the leader of this group. Eyeball is the one that tries to kill Steven later on.
Eyeball's the one with the gem where their second eyeball would be.
Yes, exactly. Doc is the leader. Also, I really love how they all have slightly different variations on the uniform, especially. Like they all have to have the diamond logo. They're all yellow diamonds. Clearly, you can see it very plain as day. But they're all slightly different, and it's cute. And Doc has like overalls.
Yeah.
I love it. So, well, we shouldn't look in that barn, is what our Ruby says. And then, like, oh my god.
Like I said, one brain cell not on the planet. I am counting our Ruby.
Yes. I didn't see that barn. No way, we should look there. I'll go. Our Ruby goes, and then, yeah. So, oops, they want to check the barn. This is when she brings along Steven. Also, of course, a very cute little moment of Sapphire and Ruby being like, wait, calm down. It's okay. I have a plan. I got this. Just tell them humans live here. Not to worry. We're good.
Yep, and that's when Ruby. Oh, so Ruby goes out solo the first time.
Yeah.
When they're like, only humans live here. That's when Steven and the baseball bat come out, and they're
Yeah.
like, we still need to go investigate. And that's when like, you can't. Why not? 'Cause you have to beat us in baseball first. And it's a real Space Jam solution, and I respect it.
Oh my god, it's exactly like Space Jam. Down to wacky bullshit happening at the end that saves everyone.
Aliens invade the planet. You can't have what you want unless you beat us in a sports game.
I did not know that that's the plot of Space Jam. Good to know.
You know, oh man, hey, I'm not saying Space Jam is a good movie. I am saying 8-year-old Darien loved Space Jam.
Oh, 100%. But let's go over the rules. So it's the Rubies versus the humans. If the Rubies win, they're allowed to search the barn. If they lose, they have to leave.
We get this really cute, like, light, cartoony, da-da-da-da-da-da is playing. And it's like a bunch of, like, baseball imagery, right? Like, it's baseball bat, and there's obviously, like, an American flag. Because America's, baseball is America's sport. It's very associated with the United States. It was created
it's the American
here.
pastime, right?
Well, now that's now that's football, but once upon a time it was. The thing I noticed, right? So everything's very simplified in this like kind of crown drawing aesthetic that we get briefly when talking about the rules of the game. Do we think that because this is an alternate reality in which the gems landed on Earth in prehistory and it has shifted everything just a little bit, is the flag we see what the American flag actually looks like?
I need to find this still of the American flag because now you're making me concerned.
It's like got one star on it. I think it looks really closer to like the Texas flag.
Oh.
But it's very clearly not the American flag. And then on one hand, it's like, well, that's just because everything's hyper simplified for this particular like sequence. But I'm like, yeah, but what if also that's just what the American flag looks like in this world? I don't know if we see an American flag anywhere else in Steven Universe.
I'm worried that you're going to like type American flag Steven Universe and like an AI generated thing is going to pop up. AI generation is destroying.
No, somebody made like a Reddit version of like with for some reason the Diamond Authority and stuff. People make like fan art stuff is what's coming up.
Of fascism?
I mean, yes, it is double fascism because it is both. Why are they doing this with the homeworld stuff? Why are they doing that?
Because again, we don't have confirmation because I don't think we ever see an American flag again. I don't think we see any like national flags. Well, maybe we see they go to Korea in that one sequence.
Yeah, we do see that.
But do we see a flag in that sequence? I'm not sure.
I think so. I would say
this is not the episode. We can go back. I just wanted to propose that as a hey. I think there's a strong case for this is what the flag of the nation where Steven lives. And again, we don't know if it's actually called the United States because Keystone State.
That's true. We don't know. But also, if we're interpolating it like this, it also only has 5 of the stripes instead of 13. So
then that would mean that there were only 5. So there's 5 colonies when America was founded, and it's just one country. One United State of America. Oh gosh.
I was about to theorize that this version of the United States never had a civil war, and that's why it's 1 star.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I could totally see that though. And like the 5 colonies were just like the colonies were way bigger.
Yeah, maybe.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I don't know. We need to stop extrapolating on the flag. I think we need to talk about the before that sequence where we talk about the fake names and the teams and everything, because that's important to me. That
the only one I ever remember is Bob. Or Earl and Bob. That's the only 2 I remember.
So all of the crystal gems, except for Peridot, who's hiding in the barn, go out. They dress up in the cute little baseball outfits, cover their gems and everything. Even Lapis joins them.
Yeah.
She thinks this plan is not going to work, but she's still with them, and it's great. The teams are definitely unbalanced because they only have 5 and there's 6 rubies.
Yeah, but like they know the rules of basketball. Actually, baseball.
Yes!
Jesus Christ.
Space Jam!
Hey!
It's also, oh my gosh, their outfits and their names. It makes me so happy. I love this episode so much. It's not lore heavy. There's not any like trauma or drama or things that happen really. It's just a fun plot and really cute character designs.
It's really gay. That's what's important to me. So we get Steven, Earl, Amy, Bob, Sophie, and then 6 people named Ruby. I love it. Pearl becomes Earl, Amethyst becomes Amy, Lapis becomes Bob, as she should.
As she should. It's so my buddy Dalton was watching this with me, and he's like, "It's so random. It's what a funny joke." I'm like, "Oh, actually, it's because Steven in the past has said no problem, Bob," and Lapis is like, "It's Lapis actually." And so she's like, "Well, Steven often calls me Bob, so I guess I'm gonna do that." And that's so funny. And that's so cute and funny, and they're friends.
Great. It's wonderful. I love their friendship. And lastly, Sapphire is, of course, Sophie. And then rubies. So many rubies. Steven explains the rules and everything. It's really cool. Our Ruby gets a cute little baseball cap. I want to draw them, actually. I want to draw Ruby and Sophie in their cute little baseball outfits, being gay.
Yes, being gay. Oh my gosh, they're flirting. That's like the one drawback of the Crystal Gem team is that Sapphire and Ruby cannot stop flirting with each other.
At first, we're doing great, okay? Like, our Ruby is just like, oh yeah, I just need to get 3 strikes. You know, I need to suck at this game because we have someone on the inside.
Inside gym. Inside baseball.
The other Rubies are doing really good. Lapis kind of gives 2 shits, maybe. And Amethyst almost gives them the fuck away when she does her little quartz rolling thing.
I didn't know a human could do that. We humans are full of surprises. Steven is giving such Kermit the Frog energy in this episode. And what I mean by that is Kermit is just trying so desperately to keep the show together with all these crazy performers and personality types who he loves with all of his heart. But sometimes they just go off script.
You know, that makes some sense to me. I now understand Kermit a little bit better. Thank you. So this is when they start flirting, and it gets really, really gay, really fast. I love it. Sapphire is up to bat. Ruby is the catcher. And Steven's like, wait, what's going on? Why is Sapphire doing so bad? She's not paying attention. And Lapis, the wise one that we know here, is like, oh my god, they're flirting. Gay. She's like,
Gay.
That's so gay.
She's like,
Clearly.
I know what you are.
I love that Lapis has this knowledge, this wisdom. What has Lapis seen? I want to know how she knows.
You know what Lapis saw 24 hours ago or within the past 24 hours? Jersey. That's why she knows what gay people are.
She saw you.
She saw me and Mac, yeah. And she's like, Steven, explain.
I just think it's hilarious that it just brings something up to me because my brain was like, wait, as far as we know, they don't have relationships. Like, gems don't do that.
No, that's a good point. Because it's like, well, I don't know. Because Pearl and Rose had a thing. And
yes.
And I don't think that was out of, it's hard to, it's such hard to say because we find the off colors and the rhodonite is a fusion of a ruby and a pearl. So I think they do. But I mean, fascism oppresses all true emotion and individuality. And the only way to have real, authentic relationships is to be vulnerable and be willing to show yourself to another person. So perhaps they do, but perhaps it's not so common, or it's typically hush-hush behind the scenes.
Maybe Lapis is just like, seen some shit because she's been around for a long time, and she's just like, she's also been around the crystal gems for who knows how long, so
I was gonna be like the things Lapis has seen just by being fused to Jasper.
Interesting way of phrasing that.
Oh.
My brain was just going to like, oh yeah, like maybe it's a taboo thing to just like have relationships at all as in gem culture and society. And maybe like she knows about it just because she's seen some stuff and she knows things.
Because it is also like how do gems of the same gem type view one another? Like the rubies are all very similar. Like their personalities are distinct, and yet there is like a vague similarity to them. Wherein it you view them as your siblings?
I mean, Ruby explained, our Ruby explained fusing with the other rubies before as like, it's like me, but bigger.
So actually, Charlie, I think you're right. I think it is like these kinds of like a relationship where flirting would be a factor is not a relationship you would likely see among gems of the same type because they're just themselves still, so that's not really what the relationship would be like. And cross gem relationships, like fusion, cross gem fusion is like a big no, but like fusion is just an extension of any kind of like bond and connection or intimacy in a relationship. And so if you're not allowed to have cross gem fusion, you would not be allowed to have any sort of like intimacy between cross gems. And as we'll see later, like the gems are kept separate with their types. So I think you're right. I think this is not a thing in Homeworld. I don't think gems flirt, but also Lapis was used as like a data research device. So like who knows what information on Earth she had to get pumped full of in order to be able to recite it back.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's also like we'll get into this whenever we meet the Topaz fusion, but I also have feelings about that. I'm like, I don't know if they view each other in like that sort of relationship thing, or maybe it's like a sisterly bond or like something. But there is a sort of relationship of some kind, whether it be platonic or like deeper going on there. So, flirting. It exists. They do some more baseball stuff. And okay, Ruby, she's supposed to be doing badly, and then she like hits it because she's looking at Sapphire, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta, do this for her."
She
and
wants
then
to show
Sapphire's
off for
like,
her girlfriend, her wife, girlfriend.
Girlfriend. They're not married yet.
They're not married yet. Point of contention. There's a whole episode about that. Hell yeah,
Correct.
We love domestic partners. What this was? Wait, fuck. This was 2016.
Yeah,
no,
gay marriage was legal.
I was like, I had to think about it for a second. I keep trying to remember.
I meant like their wedding is like actually a whole plot point. So I'm like, okay, so like if it wasn't, I would just be calling them wives no matter what. But I think there is a timeline here where I'm like girlfriend, domestic partner, wives eventually.
They're you say their wedding is a plot point? Darien, let's see. Darien Smart. For 5 episodes in a row on season 5.
I meant like the fact that these two characters getting married is a story that the show does is why I will say they aren't wives now. But like if that wasn't a thing, I would just call them wives.
I know. I'm just bringing up the fact that you already claimed like all of the episodes involving their wedding.
Listen, I requested if I could come on for a brief residency, and y'all accepted. I did. I asked, hey, y'all, it'd be so funny if I could come on for a residency. Also, I can't believe you're telling people about this in advance. I thought the joke was it was going to be people just leave the audience wondering if that was, how are they going to do the Ruby and Sapphire arc? Is Darren going to show up for every episode? Yeah, she
apparently so.
We do more baseball. Ruby breaks a bat, so Steven has to go grab another one from the barn. It's, Peridot's like, how's it going? Are you guys winning? Please.
Are you winning some?
Yes.
Great.
We're doing great. Don't worry about it. And Peridot's like, you're lying to make you feel better. Thank you.
I also love their friendship. They're just...
everything about it. Amazing.
I also, sorry, just to like analyze Peridot here a little bit. The clocking, oh, Steven, you're lying. Like, obviously, that's a thing that's surface level, like very easy to clock. Steven's being weird. Steven's obviously lying. Things are clearly not going well. You could tell that. But when Steven's like, I'm trying to make you feel better, and Peridot says, thank you. I do think that is what like really underlines that these two are genuinely friends. Like Steven would want to make anyone feel better. That's like kind of his thing. He's very empathetic.
Steven's
He's
here to
very
help.
kind.
Steven's here to help. Help Steven. Help Steven.
But also in this case, like Peridot not getting mad at Steven for lying, not telling him that's not helping, not saying that's not useful, just fully recognizing what her friend is trying to do for her in this moment, and also expressing gratitude that he is just trying to make her feel better in a scary situation, that she knows that she has someone who cares about her in that way. And that's good.
Yeah. I love them. They're so
love
good.
them.
You know who else I love?
Who?
Ruby and Sapphire doing
God, me too.
doing the thing. They're doing the thing.
The thing.
You know, you've seen Barbie. Let us help you. Where Sapphire's, you know, trying to swing the bat, and Ruby's like, you gotta swing your hips like this.
Let me like
And
just to put my arms around you and show you how to like hold the baseball bat.
it's
Oh
so
my gosh, you're so strong.
cute. Okay,
It's
this
so
is
cute, but more
this
importantly,
is-
so gay.
So gay.
this is the reaction meme that's happening here, because in this same shot we get Eyeball looking at the camera like, what the fuck is this gay shit happening here? This is live slug reaction meme. Like,
Mhm.
That's what's
Live
happening.
Slug reaction meme? What?
have you not seen this? It's the Star Wars thing, right? It's no.
No, I mean, I just don't think I'm familiar with this. I'm familiar with the what is this gay shit reaction meme you're referring to with Eyeball, but I don't think I know the Star Wars relationship.
Okay. The I believe it's Star Wars, because it's like there's this one moment of lesbians in the last Star Wars movie, the one that everybody hated the most. And then
That
it
movie
goes
is
to
bad.
the slug guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah, oh my god. Ugh, fuck you,
I
Disney.
understand now. Yep. Fuck Disney.
Yes. That was the meme, and that's what I'm thinking of when I see this. I'm just like, oh, homophobia? Question mark.
Homophobia.
All right, so we got a cute little scoreboard. I love it. Beautiful. It's the bottom of the ninth. We got somebody on second, but they can't get another out. So we need a home run to win this game. And Steven
Stakes
calls
have
a
never
timeout.
been higher.
He calls a timeout and he talks to someone who's not on his team. Excuse me, Steven. Hello?
Mhm. It's okay. The Rubies don't really understand the rules. Maybe this is totally normal.
True. He's like, Ruby, stop being cute. Sapphire, keep your eye on the ball. Beautiful. Wonderful.
But also Ruby being like, pun intended, what did I just say?
Because she's being cute.
Being cute. Ruby, not the time!
Not the time.
Yeah. And then Sapphire being like, I just want to look at you. Like, I don't want to look at the ball. I want to look at you because I love you
Gay.
so much. Gay.
I never get to like, they love being Garnet, but also it does mean they don't ever get to like see each other like this. And the other times they've been unfused, they have not had this opportunity to just have like be in peace and just interact with each
Right.
other in this very, for them, a very unique and distinct manner. And so I love that they unfuse, that we see them unfuse, and it's not traumatic. They can just choose to unfuse, and they have gotten this time together that just demonstrates that they love each other, and like they love being Garnet, but they also love each other as a distinct, like as separate individuals, and not just when they are fused together as Garnet. And I think that's really important and very powerful. And so then Ruby says, "It's okay. You can look at me while you're running to home." Damn, Ruby!
That's her home.
That's
Home
her
is
home.
where the heart is, and her heart is Ruby.
Oh my God, Charlie, I didn't even clack that. That's so good. They're so smooth. Listen, Ruby doesn't have the brain cells, but Ruby has all the Riz.
Correct. Ruby got that Riz. So like literally we see stuff of them in future. I'm sure you're gonna want to be on for whatever Garnet episodes, Ruby and Sapphire episodes in future. But like,
fun fact, I didn't watch Future.
listen, watch Future.
I was watching Future with my brother Johnny, and then the pandemic started, so we couldn't go over each other's house and watch Future. So I was waiting until I could watch it with him again. This son of a bitch watched it without me. So the last episode I saw was that very special episode with like the fusions, which is like, yeah, I'm glad I got to see Rose 2.0 or Rainbow 2.0 again, but God, you made me hang out with Onion, and you didn't give me the Pearl Ruby backstory episode? This is some bullshit.
Darien,
I don't know.
I think we need to have a watch party watching Future. We need to do this.
My plan is just to watch Future when you guys get to it. Like, I'll just watch the episode, and then I'll listen to your podcast, and then I'll watch the next episode, and then I'll listen to the episode when it comes out each week.
You realize we are so spoiler heavy. I was about to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I know what happens. Like, I know what I think I know. Like, it's fine. Like, I know what happens in Future. I just didn't watch the individual episodes.
What I was gonna reference is the fact that, like, we do in fact see Ruby and Sapphire, like, separating to, like, go and do things in Future in, like, an episode or two. But I feel like if we'd had more time to spend in that, like, Future space, we could have also seen them, like, spending time together and not being fused. And that's something I feel like could have been more explored.
A lot of things could have been more explored in Future. And again, I didn't watch it, so I'm just talking shit. It's not the Crewniverse's fault. It's Cartoon Network's. Let's talk about this very good episode, though.
It's so good! Okay, so, Sapphire. This fucking Ruby, Doc throws this ball, does the fire thing because that rubies can fucking do, apparently. And Sapphire is like, makes her bat all just icy and
big sports anime energy.
Right. This is a sports anime. Steven Universe is now a sports anime.
You can see the impact frames.
It's beautiful. She shoots it out of the park. She gets a home run. They got 2 runs because Lapis also made it home. Mm-hmm. And the Rubies are like, what the fuck? I'm so mad. And then, oops. The gay was too fucking strong because Sapphire jumps into Ruby and then they become Garnet. And Garnet's like, oops.
I love how everyone's face drops when she starts fusing. Like, they're happy. Oh, look at Ruby and Sapphire frolicking. They're fusing. Fuck.
That's so, the light and the jump, and I love that Sapphire's bangs fly out, and you see her eye, and they're just laughing, and they tumble, and then they're like fusing, it's Garnet, and she's just still laughing, because it was so wonderful, and so joyful, and so fun, and then she realizes what happened, and she's just like, oops.
Yep.
Sapphire's future vision didn't see that coming.
You know, even if she saw that coming, she was not thinking about it.
It's right. Like we weren't like seeing it, but not like internalizing it.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those moments. Like Sapphire says, like, "Oh, it'll work, maybe." She like does that later on. I'm just like, she's not thinking about that right now because she's thinking about how cute Ruby looks in that hat and how much she wants to like talk to her and like hang out with her and be cute with her, and they're really gay. And now the other Rubies, Ruby Squad, does their whole like, oh my goodness, what a turn of events,
what a twist.
Mm-hmm. What?
And they fuse.
Now we gotta fight a big old Ruby. But no, because Peridot runs out to save her friends.
She trips a bunch.
She is so very small.
She really is. She like gremlin crawls on the ground to get to them. I also just want to note, I love that when this Ruby becomes bigger, the eyeball gem instead becomes like the iris.
Yeah.
That's so good of a detail. Because the physical gem does not become bigger, even if the physical form of the gem becomes. That is such a bad sentence, but you know what I mean. Peridot's like, I'm giving myself up. It's me you want. I know it's me you want. And then Ruby's like, where's Jasper?
No, it's where's Jasper? Like, it's me. And they're like, where's Jasper? What? But no, it's me. I'm the one of the failed Earth mission. I'm the leader of the new crystal gems. I'm the new leader of the crystal gems. What?
I love that. My favorite part. And the Rubies are just like, no, where's Jasper? That's all I care about. And they're all all of our guys are just like, fuck. We don't know where Jasper is.
Mhm.
We don't know if she's alive.
No, actually, you know where she is? She's on Jupiter.
Neptune.
Neptune.
Fuck. Well, you know what? I was from Jupiter because I do be stupider.
Aw. I only really have that memorized because my friend Dalton asked, "Hey, is that kind of supposed to be a joke? Because Jasper was in the ocean." And so Steven's like,
Right?
I'm not technically like lying, but not really. Ocean, water, Neptune.
Literally what I was thinking too a second ago. Like, yep.
So there's this camp at the end of Long Island. Go there.
Oh my god. And so all the rubies like slowly leave. Eyeball is like, thank you, begrudgingly, and
Which
then
is
leaves.
so weird. The energy of the thank you is like so weird. And I mean that as in I don't know what we, the audience, are supposed to be interpreting from that. Like, is it a genuine, the eyeball is actually appreciative? Is it, as you said, a begrudging, like, manners thing? It like suggests that this is a character that, if they're being thank you and that's polite and they're expressing gratitude, it's like, oh, is it supposed to be like, wow, they're going to be really pissed when this one in particular will be really pissed when they find out Steven lied.
Hey, y'all. We counted 5 when we came here. You know, 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Me, 5. We're all here. All right, let's go.
They saw the sapphire and the ruby fuse. They're so... And even Amethyst says it at the end.
Amethyst is like, rubies are dumb. Garnet's like, not all of them.
And that's cute. It's also like, I mean, I was making joke about like Ruby not having the blurring cell either, but like Ruby does. Ruby is like working on it. Is it because
she's growing one?
Yeah, right? Is it just Ruby's had more actual? I wonder. Actually, is it okay? One, it could be a couple things. One, our Ruby is actually genuinely distinct from the other rubies. That is why she's the one that saved Sapphire. That is why Sapphire ran away with her. Like, it could not have been any other ruby ever, because there is something about this ruby that is distinct from all other rubies. Or was Ruby just equally empty as a box of rocks once upon a time, but because as Garnet has
Wait. Empty as a box of rocks? What?
I've read that the word dumb is ableist when used in the context of being unintelligent, so I try not to use it.
That's valid.
It's used as, like, the actual term means, like, not having verbal communication. And so to use it when you're meaning being unintelligent or foolish. But it's a thing, like, most people aren't aware of, so I'm like, but yeah. So, you know. But, like, is it because this ruby has been Garnet on Earth for so long, has been exposed to so many unique experiences and ideas, that this is all swirled together to help her actually become, like, more insightful and intelligent?
Okay. I feel like we got some nature versus nurture things here.
Interesting.
And there's definitely something to be said about the inherent nature of rubies, because they are made. All the gems that exist are made to be a specific way. But based on like all the different experiences they do have, they're gonna all turn out differently.
Yeah.
Obviously. And I don't know what's to be said of why this specific ruby does that specific thing for Sapphire. Like, I think it is maybe part of like her programming. It's like she didn't get poofed. She's like, I gotta save Sapphire. I gotta do something. And then that just happens. Like, that
makes sense too.
That just, 1 in a million chance. And then there's also like how our Ruby has evolved, because she's not regimented into what all the other rubies in Homeworld have to do anymore. And they definitely don't get the chance to expand their mental capacity.
For sure.
Because they're just rubies. They're soldiers. This is what they're made for. This is what they have to do. But as Garnet, and just being on Earth and not in that regimented society, she can be herself. She can learn different things. And that's definitely why she's grown this much since then. But I do think it might have just been more of a 1 in a million kind of chance. And that's it. Maybe it could have been any Ruby that did that. we don't know enough about Ruby from her time on Homeworld to know what affected her.
That is true. I think you're really onto something, especially with the rubies are made to be this way, and then being on Homeworld and that regimented thing keeps them that way. Because as y'all like to remind us, and it's very important, fascism bad. And I think that fascism bad also because fascist institutions don't want intelligent populace, right? They don't want the people they are ruling, oppressing, leeching their power from to be intelligent, to be well-read, to be highly educated, because when people do have those things and are capable of connecting the dots and seeing ideas and identifying patterns, they call fascism out on its bullshit. So what fascist institutions will do is they will go after intellects and locations of higher learning. They will make those the enemy of the common man, the common people. They will ban books that promote diverse ideas and thought that is threatening to their homogenous way of view. And they will defund programs dedicated to educating populations of all ages. And I don't know, maybe pay attention to what's happening to NPR and PBS right now.
Exactly.
Whatever.
They defund those things. They edit the websites of certain things
to
change some information.
They change museums. They censor things. They cancel programming that says things they don't like. Like
fascism bad.
So
there you go.
Hey, this episode didn't have a lot. Like, I feel like the thing that is expected of me that I always love to deliver, and I have heard listener comments about this, and it makes me feel really warm inside, of like speaking to like queer experiences and the importance of queer rep. And I think this episode does it a lot.
Yes.
But not in any way that would offer me the opportunity to say anything new. But as your cool queer aunt, dear listeners, I did want to bring you something. And so I have, if you will indulge me for a moment, I have a small history lesson that came from me telling my brother DJ, who was my co-host for Muses, who was here on that very first episode I was on when we did Jailbreak together. I made a joke about how, oh, it's so silly. It's not silly, but it's like, LOL, I can't believe they didn't play softball. That's the lesbian sport. And DJ's like everyone knows baseball better. I'm like, no, for sure. Like, it's true. But then I kind of thought for it a second. I was like, wait, why is softball the lesbian sport? Then I was like, wait, why is softball the girls' quote sport? So
because the ball is softer.
No.
I don't know.
For a brief moment, I would like to give you all a brief history of baseball and softball in the United States. And at the end, I promise you're going to be real mad. Both softball and baseball have a really long history in the United States. Both sports were established, invented in the United States. Baseball was a regional game from New York, established in the 1950s and spread throughout the country after the Civil War. Softball was first played in 1887, and the name was coined in 1926. But to be very clear, these are two separate sports. Like, softball is not a deviation of baseball. It was created totally differently. It wasn't created as a replacement to baseball. It's got its own set of rules, its own set of like parameters. Like, it's not... It would be like comparing tennis and pickleball. They are similar, but they are in no way the same or essentially an alternative sport. So why do we treat it as such? Well, both sports were started by men. They grew popular among women in World War II. So in 1886, the first women's baseball club at Vassar College was established. And around the turn of the 19th century, something called barnstorm teams grew in popularity. And these were teams that were owned by men, but they profited off of the novelty of women playing the sport. So these women teams would travel around and play baseball. Then 1890s saw the birth of the Bloomer Girls, a barnstorm league that played for 40 years, challenging and beating men's teams of all levels across the country.
Damn.
And then came the Great Depression, which, as it did, ruined a lot of things. And including the Bloomer Girls. Ticket sales crashed, the team disbanded in 1934. But then came World War II, which may have wrecked Europe's shop, but here in the United States, it really popped things off for us. So while the men were getting drafted owners of MLB teams were like, oh shoot, our ticket sales, our profits are going down because we don't have any players. So much like the factory jobs and the national economy, women stepped in to save baseball. The All-American Girls Professional Baseball Team was founded, and it was a huge hit. Over the next decade, 600 women played for over 1 million fans. And this is all great, absolutely. But it does absolutely need to be acknowledged that only white women were allowed to play in the league, and some very light-skinned Cuban players. Black women were not allowed on the field. So while, some players always have to acknowledge the racism also bad. But simultaneously, Black women were still they weren't just sitting on the sidelines being like, I guess we're not allowed. There were Black women playing on all men Black teams. Because Black women are always going to get shit done. And then, after the war, the men came back. And all of a sudden, women were viewed as taking jobs in spots that were rightfully for men. And also, there was quite a bit of homophobia about women playing baseball. So, in 1952, the MLB banned women from playing in major and minor league teams. And the AAGBL shut down in 1954. So if you ever hear people, and this actually includes basketball and a lot of sports, people being like, well, women's games aren't televised because they don't make a lot of money. No, it's because women were actively banned from playing these sports when television became a big thing and networks started doing contracts with teams and leagues to televise these games, and women just straight up weren't allowed to play at the time. So that's why. It's not because, there's no money in it. It's because they were systematically forced out of the opportunities when this first got started, and now we're just stuck in a pattern. Back to baseball. It's the year. It's 1972. We're all at the Sandlot, and 12-year-old Maria Pepe starts playing for her local Little League team. But after 3 games, her coach asks her to leave the team because he was informed that her participation was breaking a Little League rule that banned girls from playing. And the team was at risk of losing their charter. So Pepe, not wanting her teammates to suffer, voluntarily dropped off of the team. But then her family sued the Little League. This case went all the way to the Supreme Court, where in 1974, they ruled in Pepe's favor. In 1975, 30,000 girls across the country signed up for their local Little League teams.
Oh, that's incredible.
Because girls wanted to play baseball. Now, while this Supreme Court controversy was brewing, in 74, the Little League introduced softball as an alternative for girls. Because they didn't want to have to let girls on their team. But the Supreme Court was like, no, you can't do that. Girls get to play. And this was perhaps influenced by Title IX that was passed in 1972. Now, Title IX is a federal civil rights law that prohibits federally funded institutions from excluding students from education or athletic programs based on sex. And Little League isn't federally funded, so it technically didn't fall under this, but that is what Title IX does. And Title IX is really good, actually. It did a lot of stuff, despite the fact that it is today often used to try to exclude trans girls from being allowed to play on their teams, like the 9 trans girls across the country who just want to run track. But okay.
Once again, you're not supposed to discriminate, though.
It's what Title IX also did is you can't discriminate. So you have to offer both, right? You have to offer opportunities to all students. And while you'll be like, oh, yes, my school had basketball for girls and boys. It had soccer teams, right? It had, there were girls who played on the wrestling team if they wanted to. For some reason, and it's probably because Little League had introduced softball as a girls' alternative, American public schools didn't just introduce girls' baseball teams. They introduced softball teams. So in the United States, you will be hard-pressed to find a public school that has a girls' baseball team. And what this means is after the age of 12, where kids age out of Little League, girls who were playing Little League baseball don't have easy opportunity to continue playing baseball. A lot of folks couldn't afford, families can't afford to join some sort of private leagues or rec leagues or things like that. School is free. Public schools, joining those teams are largely free. So you have girls who now their only option is to play softball, which is a perfectly fine sport. I'm not here knocking softball, but as I said at the top, this is a completely different sport than baseball. So if you aren't playing in middle school, you aren't playing in high school, there's no opportunities to get scouted for a college because you haven't played. And if there's no college teams, then there's no professional league to go into. And so it wasn't until 1994 that a professional league even appeared for women in the United States again. But in 2004, a women's national team was formed, and they have won gold in the World Cup twice. Because women are good at baseball. They want to play baseball. Everyone who plays baseball should be allowed to play baseball. So that is why softball is viewed as the girls' version. That is why the joke is that lesbians play softball, because lesbians don't have the opportunity to play baseball when they're in 9th grade.
I will say, I love it. I love learning the history and all of that. I was just like doing a quick Google search as you were talking. I'm just like, ooh, I want to know more about this. I want to know all the things that Darian's talking about. And my little haha funny joke, like, oh, it's a softball. Obviously, that's for the girls. Google is like, you're not totally wrong there, actually, because softball is less physically demanding, so it's more accessible for women, is what a quick Google search is like. That's why softball's for girls. Yeah, like that's probably the reasoning of like why they were like, oh, baseball's a guy's sport. We can't have the girls playing baseball, right?
In that way, they're like, oh, it's because the ball's softer. It's like, no, that's like not the. It's like a lot of like layered. Oh, girls play softball because they were literally barred from playing baseball.
It's like it's a lot of layers.
Yeah, it's like, it's also like the idea, also like this proposes the idea that women just simply could not handle playing baseball.
Yeah.
Which Bloomer girls were against men, because it's just, the Bloomer girls were proving was bullshit back in the 1800s. So it is a degree of sexism where this is for the good old boys and we have to kick the girls out.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like a cursory Google search is like, actually, I'm going to give you a sexist answer and say that like women can't play that because they can't do all that physical stuff. Like they're not as strong and not as fast as boys and all of that. And yeah, fuck you, Google, for being sexist.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like what the reasoning, I mean, Google's just going to show you the thing that has been put out there. It's also like the way you pitch the ball is totally different. The field is smaller, so it requires different things. Like, it is a totally different sport. They're both very challenging, but also like what it boils down to is like, it is a bummer that young women for decades have been literally barred from being able to pursue baseball, a sport that they were very likely being able to easily play when they were 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, when they could play in Little League. And then because public schools in the United States don't offer it, they just kind of don't get to play this sport anymore and have to learn a totally different sport in order to keep doing this activity that they really like. Now, all this I want to shout out to this PBS video that I got the majority of this information from. PBS. It's a PBS Origins video called "Why Don't Women Play Baseball?" And it goes through this entire history. And this is why we view softball as the for lesbian sport. Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring to you today. You'd be shocked how, and then again, like it's Charlie, it's exactly what you said. Like at the top of my head, people might just say like, oh, well, it's because softball's less challenging. And so that makes sense why, but it's not. It's actually a lot. It's
more
just,
complicated.
That's why I brought up the whole, why aren't there televised women's sports more often? It's not, there's the sexist answer that we've all swallowed for so long because it's what was sold to us. But when you scratch over the paint and you go into the history just a little bit, it was never by accident.
Never is.
The short answer is sexism. The longer answer is more sexism.
More sexism, yeah. The fact that the MLB was asked women, come play baseball because we don't want to lose money. They did great. And then when the men came back, they banned women from playing baseball. The betrayal.
Anyway, fuck sexism.
Fascism bad, racism bad, sexism bad.
Now I hate men.
Okay, we should go back to your podcast. You have a format.
Yeah, we do have a format. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Charlie.
You want to go to the Crystal Temple?
For some Crystal Temple trivia?
Yeah. So this episode's name was first revealed in the episode listing on the Cartoon Network website.
Promotional content for the episode was first shown on Cartoon Network's mobile application, Cartoon Network Anything, which I don't think exists anymore, but I remember when this was announced.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Sapphire's legs are seen for the first time.
Oh my god, she has legs.
She has legs.
How's everyone supposed to concentrate when Sapphire's ankles are exposed?
Oh my god, not the ankles! This is the first time Garnet voluntarily unfuses on screen.
Each of the fake aliases that each of the gems give themselves when playing the baseball against the rubies are Steven, his name is unchanged. Pearl, Earl without the P. Amethyst, Amy, uses multiple letters from her original name to form the fake name. Sapphire, Sophie, sounds similar to her original name. Lapis, Bob, maybe a reference to the end of Ocean Gem when Steven calls Lapis his name.
It would have been funny if Steven had been like Esteban, but that's later. Later is when he becomes Esteban.
In the episode's ending credits, the 5 rubies are given designated nicknames. Eyeball, the ruby with her gemstone placed where her left eye would be. Doc, the ruby with her gemstone placed on her chest. Army, the ruby with the gemstone placed on her left shoulder. Navy, the ruby with the gemstone placed on her navel. Leggy, the ruby with the gemstone placed on her left leg. As seen in the concept art by Rebecca Sugar and the episode Back to the Moon, Steven is the one who named them. The concept art also reveals that Leggy was made the day before the episode. Additionally, in the concept art, Eyeball originally had her gem on her right eyeball, and Leggy originally had her gem on her right leg. Damn, Leggy's brand new at this?
Wow.
How fast where was she made? How fast did they travel from that kindergarten?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We definitely see this later, when we get the pearl and pink diamond flashbacks. There's like, oh yeah, all the amethysts like popped out of the ground and they immediately go to work. Like,
right.
That's just how it is.
There's no
they can't wait for their sister to show up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this episode first premiered on Cartoon Network France.
This episode was the first episode to not be bundled with any other episode on services like iTunes and Google Play. So I guess if you want this episode, fuck you have to pay for it by itself.
Have you ever bought just a single episode on like iTunes or Google Play?
Back in the day, yes.
Yeah. Do you remember what it was?
Actually, I lie. Back in the day, meaning like when I first got an iPhone in like 2012, but also a friend I no longer talk to, but God help me if I'm not curious about the people in my lives live, was once on an episode of like one of those home renovation shows. So I downloaded that to be like, what's up with her? And then I found out her life is significantly better than it should be. And I'm like, okay.
Well, there's
Rude.
that. I just bought all the seasons of a show. Like,
Right, but no. That's not it. That's normal. What we're asking is the one-off episode. Have you ever bought just a one-off episode? Because the whole season's a totally like typical thing to do and respectable.
I think like my parents got like, the pilot episode of something like free a couple times on iTunes. So like there's that, but like never a single episode other than the pilot. So yeah, that's weird.
Literally, I've only bought one episode of television one time on iTunes, and it was Scrubs season 7, episode 11, My Princess. It's the one where Dr. Cox is telling his kid a bedtime story, and his wife says, "No, you can't tell him about the hospital." So he turns everybody, and he makes it like a fairy tale. That's a really fun, and the ending is kind of sad. Hey, did you know there were people in the fandom when the name of the episode was announced definitely thought this would be about them fighting the diamonds? And other people were like, no, it's obviously going to be about baseball.
Literally, that's like the best part about this, I think, is that, oh my goodness, we're gonna do it with the diamonds already? No, it's baseball, because double meanings.
Avi Tran revealed in a comment on SoundCloud that the soundtrack that plays during Sapphire's home run is called The Magic Glory of Sports.
From the 4th episode of the Steven Universe podcast, the first podcast Charlie ever listened to, Rebecca Sugar stated that this was the episode where all the voice actors of the same episode were present to voice for the first time. The voices of Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl, Steven, Ruby, and the Homeworld Rubies. That's the same person. I don't know why that's Sapphire, Lapis, and Peridot. They're all together. That's pretty cool.
I love that for them.
Which is usually not the case when they record shows like this. Now for cultural references, hit the diamond is a popular expression used to mean play baseball. The bases are arranged in the shape of a diamond when viewed from overhead. So the diamond is the field.
While Steven explains the rules of baseball to the Rubies, an instrumental version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game is played. The song is performed at most professional baseball games and is closely associated with the game.
This episode bears similarities to the Samurai Champloo episode Baseball Blues.
The Gems uniforms represent different eras and cultures in baseball's history. Steven wears the collarless, striped jersey that has become an iconic image of baseball. Pearl's outfit, with its knickers and collared shirt, is representative of the early uniforms of the late 19th and early 20th century. Amethyst takes a more Eastern approach with a scarf over her jersey in a look inspired by Japanese baseball players. Lapis Lazuli evokes the 1970s with the cropped raglan sleeve t-shirt, tube socks, and short shorts she wears.
What I say, it's the Sandlots.
The flared skirt and high socks of Sapphire's feminine ensemble are not unlike the kind worn by the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League of the 1940s.
Which you all now know about thanks to listening to this episode.
Thank you, Darien. Thank you so much. And now for continuity.
Lapis's human name, Bob, is a reference to Steven's line, "No prob, Bob," from Ocean Gym. Lapis' hair is also cut in a Bob style.
Hey. Jasper is revealed to have been the leader of Peridot's mission to Earth. I guess we didn't know that before.
Big gasp.
That makes sense. That we would have thought it was Peridot.
Well, yeah, you know what? Because I think Peridot being like techie and arguing about what the mission is supposed to be about, and like it does kind of feel like Jasper is just like a muscle bodyguard that stepped out of line. But no, Jasper was in charge.
Yeah, she really is. She's big buff Cheeto Puff. She's
Oh my god.
she's large and in charge.
She's large and in charge.
All right. What else do we do here? Oh,
Pearl
yeah. Can we
points.
give out pearl points? Pearl points.
Dude, oh.
I'm giving mine. What if I divided it equally 5 ways to each ruby?
Just the homeworld rubies?
Just the
yeah.
home-
What about
like-
ours? What about
Well, there's
our
only 5
rubies?
rubies. They
yeah.
counted.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
only
You're right.
5.
They did count. There are only 5 of them. You're correct.
Actually, no. I'm homophobic and I don't care about the gay one. I want the 5 straight rubies.
Bold of you to assume that they're all straight.
They're the way fusing with yourself, the way fusing with gems of like your own cut is.
We just had a whole conversation about it, Mac.
I'm explaining it to Mac. Yeah.
Yep.
Where it's sort of like fusing with. It's sort of like how in Camp Half-Blood you can date other demigods, just not demigods with the same parent as you.
I don't think gems of the same type can
I
have
think
a
it's the
romantic
opposite.
relationship because they're too similar.
That's why I said it's kind of. So
It's
yeah,
kind of-
one
it's
fifth.
not a
Kind of,
one-to-one.
it's not. I don't know.
But
It's
oh,
weird.
that said, I believe I want to. That comment has a caveat, and that is 2 gems of the same type that have been on Earth for a substantial amount of time and had developed their own unique and distinct personality. I feel could come together and have a romantic relationship.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. Also,
Also,
like a sapphire and Padparacha. Padparacha? I don't
Yeah,
yeah.
Paparacha?
They're the same gem, but they're not.
They're not.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You see the
yeah,
vision.
you know, there's something different going on there.
I would like to give my
But-
pearl points to Lapis's outfit because I mentioned it multiple times throughout the episode, and that just felt the right thing to do.
100%.
Or Baseball Joe. Should I give it to Baseball Joe?
You could
Not
do
gonna
that.
give it to the Major League Baseball. That's for fucking sure. No,
I like
it's
to
Lapis's
imagine.
outfit.
I like to imagine Baseball Joe is a lesbian.
Yeah,
But that's
short for
just me.
Josephine.
Have you seen this? There's been a theory that I've seen like so many times way back in the fandom that the DeMeos in the picture are actually just lesbians, and like the mustache in the picture is fake.
That feels
That's like
right for the timeline.
That's a real theory that has been had.
I'm not mad about it. Hey, I mentioned the Sandlot a lot, and I feel like I didn't get like an appropriate response for that reference. Have y'all seen the Sandlot?
Not.
Okay,
I'm uncultured. We've learned things about
you've
Charlie.
seen
Charlie?
every single Barbie movie. It's fine. Robert?
I do not know. I have no idea what you're talking about.
What?
I
Oh,
know it
man.
exists, at least. I'm smarter than Robert there.
This is one of the movies my family owned on VHS. So me and my brothers watched The Sandlot. A lot going on. I think it holds up. There's one like shitty old school like casual sexism line where the boys of like it's just this group of like ragtag kids and they all like want to play baseball together in the sandlot, and then this like team that's clearly like the little league kids come in and they're all a bunch of douchebags and they're like, we're better at baseball than you, and so they're insulting each other, and one kid is like, you play baseball like a girl, and that's like the deepest insult, so now they gotta play ball against each other, and that line does suck for all the reasons I outlined earlier. Oh, and there's also like a weird, you know what? Actually, I changed my mind. The Sandlot doesn't hold up because there were just two really big. Because then there's the lifeguard bit, and that one's a bummer too. It's a real product of its time.
I know the one line, "You're killing me, Smalls."
You're killing me, Smalls. But also at the end, Goliath, and not Goliath. He gets out, and he is Hercules, and it's I don't know. Listen, the Sandlot is a product of its time.
Sure is.
That I think could still be enjoyed, but not necessarily something I would show a young child who is very impressionable.
But the important thing here is that there's now 3 medias that we know Charlie has not seen: The Sandlot, Space Jam, and A Muppet's Christmas Carol. You're welcome. If you're keeping track.
Charlie, what year were you born in?
97. Same year as Robert.
Yeah, nope, that doesn't explain it. I feel like I was born in 94. That's not enough of a difference.
I think I was just exposed to different things, and also I was a child who liked what I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that says it all. We were a Disney family.
Yeah, so were we.
Yeah, that's true. I'm giving my pearl point to the lesbians.
Yeah,
it's going to Rufire. It's going to Ruby and Sapphire. Our girls, our genderless gem creatures. I love them.
Gems have a gender.
That's true.
They don't have a biological sex.
They have pronouns, but do they have a gender?
Yes, they have a gender. They have gender identity. They have gender expression. What they don't have is biological sex because gems don't reproduce sexually.
I'm not as confident as you are about the gender part, but I definitely know that they're sexless. I know that.
Charlie, I don't think you're confident about gender at all.
Let's see. Okay. On the official wiki, we have sex, sexless, gender pronoun, she, her. Gender pronoun is not how you would phrase that, but
it's their gender pronouns.
It does not say what the gender is. So pronouns are not gendered.
We can't get into this deep level of his in this very surface level basic way of communication circa 2015 when Steven Universe was being produced and coming out. I think we have to acknowledge the point in time in which the language was operating at. At that time,
That's fair.
Gender and pronoun are distinctly linked as a communication tool. Therefore, I think it would be disingenuous to take it out of its time and bring it to the language that we're using over a decade later in a more deeper, nuanced way of communicating identity. So
I also just wanted to fuck with you just a little bit, but yeah, I'm giving it to Ruby and Sapphire. Anyway, the question:
Have you ever played baseball?
Yeah, there it is.
Not well. I was not good, but I did play it.
No, I ran cross country.
I quote unquote played soccer. And by played soccer, as a 5-year-old, I would sit in the corner, drink juice, and flirt with the boys. So
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. That's no baseball. No softball either. Sad. But I love watching baseball.
That is fun. I love a hot dog.
I think that is the sport that I do enjoy watching the most because I do know the rules the most. So I can engage with that more than I can with most other sports.
Right.
And the food. We love the food at any major sporting events.
Mm-hmm.
Hot dog or peanuts.
Yeah.
Darien, would you like to tell everyone who you are and where to find you before we go?
I'd love to. Hi, everybody. If you're like, this was really fun, I'd love to hang out with this weird girl more. You can do that. You have options. First of all, I mentioned my podcast, Muses of Mythology. We are over on any podcatcher you want to be at. All of these shows are, except the last one. It is my mythology show where me and my brother DJ talk about how ancient myths have become part of our modern pop culture through the lens of Rick Riordan's various works. We are currently going through the Kane Chronicles right now. And if you're like, that's great, but I already listened to Charlie's show and they're also doing the Kane Chronicles right now, I don't think I need that. What else you got for me? Well, dear listener, you can swing by and hang out with me on Aragon and Back Again. That is where my friend and I, that is where my dear friend Lucia Hart and I discuss Christopher Paolini's Inheritance Cycle, chapter by chapter, spoiler free, analyzing it as adult writers to see what we can take away and why it's something we still love to this day. And you're like, that's all fun, but what about you acting more unhinged than you already are? Well, dear listener, you're in luck. That's going to be the Bad Moon's Orbit. That's where my good friend Dalton Montgomery tells me all about Warhammer Age of Sigmar. I know nothing. He knows everything. I scream about the way words are spelled. That one is only on Spotify at this time. And if you're like, but what do you look like? And also, do you ever lip sync while dressed as Greek gods? You're in luck. Yes, I do. You can follow Muses of Mythology on Instagram or YouTube to watch those videos. I try to put one out every day.
Excellent.
I
Of course,
love
will be
all of those
in the description.
Darien, you're wonderful, like little gods. Amazing, beautiful,
Thank you.
wonderful.
Hey, do you want a scoop? You want a scoop right here?
You get a scoop.
I just got a jacket to do Aries.
That's awesome.
We're gonna introduce Aries
I have
to it.
thoughts and feelings on something that you should do. I don't think you've done it yet, but
listen, the only rule about being like, you should do this is that you have to also actually send me a link to the audio. I get a lot of comments being like, you should do this. And I'm like, do you have an audio that I can do with that? Because that's kind of the make or break on these things.
There's definitely audio of this thing.
If you send it to me, I'll be more than happy to do it and even put on there, this is from my friend Charlie. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm writing a book. If you want to see what that turns into. I mostly just post pictures of my cats. Sometimes I give tidbits of this book I'm writing. I'm almost done and I'm scared to finish it. Because I know it'll be real and people are going to be like, when are you going to publish it? And I'll be like, oh God, I have to put it out into the world now. That's where it becomes like a success or failure.
Yeah.
Right now it's just a fun little thing I do.
You.
Aw, thanks, Charlie.
Be that way. But you know what it'd always be like? If every podcast were perfect.
We wouldn't have the bits.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You can follow this podcast socials at the Bits SU Pod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send a message to our dime line through thebitsSUpod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/thebitsu. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about Steven Universe, or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Steven's Room, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with Steven in some way. No promises.
You can check out our merch store, The Bits SU, on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie, me, or if you cannot do that or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. It really helps. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. You can also hear my voice on 2 other podcasts. I co-host another podcast on the network with Ray called Of the Eldest Gods, where we talk about the mythology book series by Rick Riordan, starting with Percy Jackson. I also co-host a podcast with my buddy Ethan called Mysteries in the Machine, where we talk about all things Scooby-Doo.
You can find me, Robert, at the Damn Meme page on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. If you want to hear more from me, check out my YouTube channel, also called the Damn Meme page, where I make videos mainly about Percy Jackson, but also sometimes other fun stuff. If you want to find me elsewhere in the podcast verse, you can also tune into my podcast, The Pit Crew, a show dedicated to dissecting the HBO Max medical drama, The Pit.
The Bits is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Of the Eldest Gods, a chapter-by-chapter Rick Riordan pod with mythological context and no spoilers.
Well, we finished the Percy Jackson series. Wait, what are we still doing here? And what is that music?
Oh, you thought it was over, bro? We're just getting started.
We are? Charlie, what's next for Of the Eldest Gods?
Well, Ray, it's time for us to go into our Egyptian era. We're gonna start the Kane Chronicles.
Oh, hell yeah! Wait, why do you have a glowing boomerang?
Don't worry about it. It's just my Egyptian magic wand.
Man, the Egyptian stuff isn't going to be like the Greek stuff, is it?
Not at all. But we'll still cover mythology as it comes up in each chapter.
Are we going to have cabins this season?
Nah, the Canes don't have cabins. So instead, I'm Charlie, following the path of Bast.
And I'm Ray, following the path of Geb.
Join us as we read The Red Pyramid, the first book of the Kane Chronicles, chapter by chapter.
Welcome back to Of the Eldest Gods.
Thing.
Just gonna go for it, you know?
We're just gonna go for it. We are the crystal germs.
Yeah, we are.
We're also the crystal gays.
Absolutely.
Crystal gays and theys. Wow, wait.
Oh, I
hold
love
on.
that.
Hold on a second. We're cooking here.
Instead of the crystal gems, it's the crystal thems.
Ha, that's funny.
There you go. There's
Charlie,
some outtakes for you.
Charlie, start saying words.
Dave X Media.